Hello everyone, this is Emo, and today we will be reviewing One Piece chapter 1048, 20 years. This is a really solid chapter which solidifies the possible end of Orochi, and I think this is the actual end of Orochi, as the flashback shows how much people suffered from Orochi, and he only had one dragon head and it was cut off, so I think this is the end of Orochi, and this was a really good way of seeing his head get cut away with people's wishes saying we want Orochi to disappear. So it was a really good way of seeing his end in this chapter. So it was a really solid chapter to me. But firstly, let's talk about the cover story, where we see Brule talking to Cracker about Niji and Reiju are in Chocolate Town. And it looks like they're the ones who actually came 2 chapters ago to save Yonji and Niji. And the beginning of the chapter, we see Luffy telling Momo to move Onigashima out of the way, and Momonosuke panics that he cannot do that. So, and he remembers his family that they are counting on him. So he bashes his head into Onigashima and starts pushing it away. And then Kaido tells Luffy that he will take his huge attack head on. And then we see Kaido transform into a flaming dragon. And as he is transforming, he melts a part of Onigashima's horn, so it gets melted away. And this actually reminds me of King's Imperial Dragon attack, and I think King's attack is inspired by this because the dragon looked exactly like Kaido, so I think it's inspired by this. And then we see a clash between Kaido and Luffy. Then for some reason it cuts to Usopp looking at Kinemon and Kiko as they dropped from Hamlet and they are afraid that they aren't alive. And then it cuts into a flashback of when the Scabbards ran from Oden's execution back to Kori to protect Momonosuke and Hiyori and Toki. And we see an extended version of the part that we see as Kaido knows that Oden has a son and then goes so that he could kill him. Then we see that the daimyo of Wano fighting against Kaido. We don't see the actual fight, but we see them going against Kaido. And we obviously saw the outcome of this as in the Yamato flashback when they were imprisoned by Kaido, and we see all the suffering that the people of Wano have suffered from Orochi and how they hate him to guts. And we see that how the water started to pollute and how there is no water, there is no farms, everything is turning into a wasteland. How Orochi has ruined this country. We see people committing suicide because of how it's difficult to live in Wano. And you can see how much they have suffered from Orochi. And it was really good to see his head get cut off. His final head get cut off with their wishes being come true. So it was a really beautiful scene, and I actually liked it a lot. And actually something I didn't mention in this chapter, when Kaido turned into a flaming dragon, he was talking about how the people of Wano have been waiting for a savior, and he's mentioning that Luffy is the savior of Wano right now, as he has been waiting for Joy Boy. That solidifies his idea that he knows that Joy Boy was coming to Wano. But how did he know? We don't know. We still have to wait for the Kaido flashback. And this whole chapter feels like the end of the fight, but I still believe that there's still more to it. I still believe Kaido will awaken his devil fruit, and I don't believe him turning himself into a flaming dragon this is his awakening. It could be, but I'm pretty sure if this was the awakening, Oda would have made Kaido say that I will use my awakening now. So I think it will end in about 2 or 3 chapters, and I think we will get a long flashback of Kaido, as he has one of the most anticipated flashbacks in One Piece. He has a lot of information that he knows. There are a lot of things we have to know about Kaido. We have got a bit of pieces of hints about his flashback, but it's still very vague to us. So overall, this is a really solid chapter. I liked it a lot. I loved the end of Orochi, how it was made. It was really beautiful, and Oda's art is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, as it really helps me out a lot. This is Emo, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.